Hey folks, this is Adam from Shapeshifter Media and BodyWeightCoach.com. Today I want to talk about a kettlebell exercise that's just a really great conditioning move that you can plug into almost any other circuit or any other workout. It's called the kettlebell swing, and I'm going to show you two different ways of doing it. I'm going to show you a single-armed version of it in what's more considered the soft style of kettlebell training, and then I'm going to show you a two-handed version which is more of a hard style of doing the movement. Okay, so let's start with the soft style. This is what it's going to look like, and then I'll break it down in a second. So there are really two parts to this soft style single arm swing. There's a front part and a back part. So it's almost like a pendulum. The kettlebell swinging back and forth, okay? So there's this front part and a back swing, front and back. And the kettlebell is actually swinging up on both ends. So as the kettlebell comes down through my legs, I'm bending a bit, letting the kettlebell pass my legs, and then I'm actually extending up the other side to let the kettlebell continue moving up. Okay, so the kettlebell is actually swinging up in the back, and then it's got momentum to swing back down through my legs, and as it comes through, I'm bending, building up some energy again, building up some spring, and pushing with the legs, and pulling with the arms like a lawnmower to bring the kettlebell back up the other side. Then it comes up, it's got some momentum to sink back down. I'm letting that momentum carry it through my legs and letting it come back up the other side. Okay, so look at that again. Back, front, back, front. And you can see here when it gets to the front, it gets to a certain point, and I actually pull on it like a lawnmower to get it to float. So I could actually let go of it at the top of the movement and just let it float. Okay? So that's one way of doing your kettlebell swing. A couple points to remember is when your back is under tension, when there's any force running through your back, it's got to be straight and neutral. Okay? So as the kettlebell comes through my legs and up the back side, there's a moment where it floats. At that point, I can let my back slightly round. But as soon as the kettlebell starts coming back down where the earth is pulling on it, I have to come back into a neutral backed position to protect my back. And also, not just to protect my back, but to allow the forces generated by the kettlebell to travel effectively through my core. Okay, so that's really, really important. The other thing I wanted to mention is as it comes here, you're pulling up with your elbow, not pulling up with your hand. So it's not from the shoulder, it's from the elbow pointing up to the sky. So as I get my kettlebell here, pulling upwards, my elbow higher than my wrist. And you'll see in a different video how that's going to help you transition from being able to do a great swing into being able to do what's called a snatch. Okay? Now, so that's one way to do it. The other way I'm going to show you is with both hands on the kettlebell, and it's more of what we'd call a hard style movement. So the biggest difference here is this is what it's going to look like. Instead of allowing the kettlebell to come back up in the back position, I'm stopping its momentum by dumping the kettlebell straight down towards the ground, and I'm explosively reversing the direction of the kettlebell. So I'm letting it swing down. As soon as it goes through my legs, I'm absorbing the momentum of the kettlebell with flexion of the legs. So I'm bending the legs, allowing the kettlebell to drive straight down and back, and then I'm stopping that momentum and using my glutes, my butt muscles, and my legs to drive it back out. Okay? The basic movement on this looks a lot like a good squat. So a good squat, if you'll remember, starts with the hips back. Okay, so you break at the waist first, and then you can bend your knees. Same thing with the kettlebell swing. It's going to be waist or butt back first, then absorb with the knees, and then explode out with both leg extension and forceful movement of the glutes to drive the bell up. And then the rest of it, you're just letting the arms stay straight and the kettlebell float up in front of you. So stop it, explode. Stop, explode. Absorb and stop, explode. Okay, so those are 2 ways you can use the kettlebell to do a swing type movement. And there are more. Those are just probably the 2 favorites that I use myself. Give that a try. Let me know how you like it. This is Adam from Shapeshifter Media and bodyweightcoach.com.